do English text and Japanese voice. That's what I do. I think that's my preferred way of playing Monster Hunter. I hate the Monster Hunter language. I think it's so annoying. But yeah, and I don't know what the English voice acting is like, but I'm not a big fan of it in the past. So with the amount of talking there is in this game, I probably will prefer it in Japanese. But it's time for the news. Oh no, it can't see it. Why can't it see it? Chat. Chat, I can't see the window. There it is. There we go. Good start. Okay, so this news will be a little different to ones we've done in the past. This news is actually going to be a monthly recap of what's happened, considering I've been away. So some things I might have touched on slightly in the past, some things will be updated. It is a sizable amount, but not an insane amount. Additionally, we will probably be doing a news segment tomorrow, which will cover the most recent news, just to get us back into the normal swing and not have it squashed in here. But yes, this is a whole heap of news that will come from various different sources than I normally would get, so you're not going to see the same normal articles. But what we will see is things that we've pretty considered top voting of what happened in the week. So let's jump into it. So first up, bit of a weird one. There's a couple of weird bans and things to this month that happened. Super Seducer 3. Now I'm not a big fan of these games. I think they're a bit stupid. But Super Seducer 3 has been banned from Steam. Yeah, they've done a whole heap of stuff related to this. Right as they told me need approval or feedback, we said we'd do whatever they needed. So the developer and the main actor, he's seeming to not have any way in with Steam. Steam just said no. But the thing is, the reason why Steam have banned this game, if you don't know Super Seducer 3, it's a weird game where it's you're meant to romance girls and you're meant to do it in a weird way. I don't know, you get a couple options and they're really extravagant or stupid, and it's just a game that looks like it's made by a rich person for rich people sort of thing. I don't know, it's really just a bit strange. Anyway, but the reason why they said they can't is because of the fact that Steam doesn't ship explicitly sexually explicit images of real people. So the reason why this game has not made it through, unlike where we've had games that are a lot more say hentai and things like that, there's been sex games that are either 3D or 2D that are on Steam. The difference is between that and this is actually real people. Now, those games, I'm fairly sure, don't have sexual scenes. I'm fairly sure everything's just insinuations. It's never you see anything. So I don't know what happened in 3, but it seems like it's triggered some sort of ban removal system, and Steam seem to be not happy with it because real people pretty much touches on this is pornography. They're now presenting pornography on Steam, and that's not what they want. So, assumably, that's why it's been taken down, but whether or not that's true, who knows. But we'll see how that progresses, whether or not anything happens with it. But that's pretty harsh for that developer if they won't be able to turn that, because I think those games are pretty much the same thing over and over. Honestly, why didn't 1 and 2 get stopped? Why haven't they been removed? Moving on. The new Switch. So there is very, 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 very heavy rumors. And they look like they're pretty much being confirmed now because of certain pieces of information that have come out. We are actually getting a new Switch. This might be true. I still feel funny about this piece of information because this seems far too powerful. This seems ridiculously strong, in my opinion. I know the Switch has been out for a few years and certain tech barriers have been blasted through and things have been reduced in price, but this is still pretty crazy. they're using more modern like phone technology plus the new chipsets to make a new Switch that has a 7-inch 720p OLED screen, so a lot more similar to what's in phones, modern phones. DLSS equipped, better CPU for more memory, better CPU and more memory, sorry, and with lots of games. I don't know why it says lots of games, but anyway, I've seen lots of these. The new GPU that's in it, the chipset, allows 1080p resolution. This will be a 1080p console on your TV, like, sorry, 4K, not 1080p, 4K resolution on a handheld device, which is bonkers. Assumably that would only be when it's in docked mode, because there's no point otherwise, because the screen won't be able to generate that level of pixel density. Is no point. But just that alone is so huge if true. So hopefully this is. I love the Switch. I would love a new version. I would totally buy a new version. 350 tag is what it's suggested, and 350 is like, if that's 350 American, that's a decent price. I would probably buy a new Switch for that. I don't know if I would trade my old one in for a new one, but that's pretty fucking cool. The thing I'm wanting to not waste money on is a Switch right now, because just in case, man, the only reason I haven't bought a new Switch yet. So the thing is about the Switch is you have to be careful, because the first lot of manufacturing, like, so the first generation that I have, supposedly have lots of issues, and the new generations came out and they gave some improvements to them. They're a bit more stable, they're a bit better. I worry that if a new version of the Switch comes out still during COVID times, this is still being developed during COVID times, that we may not get the manufacturing quality that Nintendo usually has on their standard. So I'm going to say this might be a situation where you should just like hold off, even if they do come out, just to see whether or not the quality is up there. But if this is true, this is going to be pretty bonkers. My first gen Switch cracked. It overheated with a crack where formed on the back. Mine does that as well, Kick here, actually. There's a crack near one of the vents. I don't mind that because it's not something you see, and I usually play it in docked mode anyway. But definitely the Switch as a handheld is pretty fucking amazing, but as a longevity for a handheld has quite a few faults. Like, one of the biggest ones is the Joy-Cons being a big issue. So there's lots of things. If Nintendo's generally really good at improving their baseline for their consoles, so whatever the next generation is, or the next version, or the updated versions and things like that, are usually a lot better. And we'll probably see that with the Switch, like even during all of this. So it's gonna be probably worth it. Mine hasn't cracked, but the fan broke and left a Joy-Con dock basically, and left Joy-Con basically got misshapen. Oh really? Jesus. Yeah, it's a pretty malleable plastic, but that's mostly because of for drops and things like that, so you don't break it. If it really shows 4K, that would be crazy for a handheld. Yeah, I know, that'd be insane. This would be so incredible. Because that was the thing, I remember Prince bringing this up to me, and I was like, I'm fairly sure those like leaks and all that is not like founded. All of that stuff, it just sounded too ridiculous to me. Even some of them came from trusted sources, but now we're actually hearing manufacturing leaks, like specific ones, so it does suggest that it might be real. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Oh my god, someone's got the old Switch leaks. I remember these. That's really funny. I remember that old Switch leak. Moving on. So we're gonna have some websites that I've never used before, so hopefully I don't get any weird ads, or it's not gonna block me, but we'll see. E3's 2021 live events have been cancelled, LA City documents claim. So I think I may have already covered this before, but E3, the biggest, was the biggest digital display of for games. All the big companies would be there. Everyone would be there. That's not going to be a thing this year again, and that makes sense. COVID's still a thing, but E3 has not adapted to an online like setup in any form that's like good enough. So they're they're pretty stuffed. Like if they notoriously this company that runs E3 has some major problems in terms of organization and stubbornness and cutting corners on costs and things, and people have just stopped going. Like big companies are deciding to not choose to go to E3, and we will probably see the new generation of digital presentations such as the Summer of Games really take a hold. I don't know if the Summer of Games, surely they're going to change the name of it, but at some point. But it's that's going to come back. That's going to be shorter. It'll probably will be taking a lot of the E3 like just general footage and announcements. So yeah, it's not the worst in the world. It's just it'll be sad for people who are long-term E3 fans or E3 watchers like myself that it's going to be weird not having it. It might just die off if it doesn't adapt. So yeah. Disco Elysium Final Cut has been refused classification in Australia. So if you're not from Australia, you've probably heard just how aggressive our classifications boards can be and how stupid they can be sometimes, where they're very just blatant. And there is very particular ones that they get stuck on in Australia, which for some reasons, for some things are good, some things are bad. Now, you'll notice at the top here, in Australia, this is actually, if you've never seen our classification boards, we do have CTC, G, PG, M, M15+, R18, and X18. So, we do have a really good set of classifications in Australia. However, there's a couple of ones that get a little stuck, and one of them is drugs. Now, Disco Elysium, I don't know if drugs are how big of a purpose they are in them, but for whatever reason, it's been denied access here. So it's you might see that in a couple other countries as well. But yeah, it just happens here. Just a reminder that like this is what governments can do and control and all that stuff. And it can be good and it can be bad. This one is probably a little heavy-handed, but yeah. Oh well. I feel sorry for the developers, but refused classification is that's insane. That's a really big slap no-no. But we'll see. That will probably change over time. They'll probably fight back on that. Okay, I don't know if I covered this last time, but Elden Ring. So Elden Ring has been waited for so many, like, oh my god, people have been waiting for just any sort of like hint, reveal, leaky, anything. People are just looking for anything. However, apparently, and I've actually already seen it, a leaked Elden Ring trailer is being circulated online, and it's being done in a very interesting way. So Elden Ring, if you are excited, there is a full trailer out there to watch. We won't watch it here because it's still classification of a leak. But yeah. Your next headline, local cat says no. I'll give you little slappies. No. Bad. Hey Spider, how you doing? So, Elden Ring being leaked ahead of... We don't even know when this is going to be presented, by the way. We have not seen any footage, no news, no nothing for Elden Ring for so long. This is a really big dark period for like the company in terms of showing off anything. But it's okay. It's totally okay because I've seen the trailer and the game does exist. The funny thing is, the way it got leaked was very interesting because the video obviously must have gone out. Someone must have got their hands on it, or multiple people got their hands on it. But the way they were doing it was they were putting up little 20-second or smaller bits of footage in various places on the internet. And then people went and found them and then put the video back together. And there's a couple of versions that it's like the quality's a bit better, quality's a bit worse. Some people have actually used AI to improve the quality of the video. But it is definitely a Souls... game from the looks of it. You just watch it. You can see Sekiro, you can see how much like they've learned from their previous games. It is Dark Souls and Sekiro merged in some sense. and it's very exciting, and it's pretty much what they said it was going to be. It looks like an open worldy mounted game. So hold tight. We don't know when we will see this, but there is a trailer, and there will be a trailer at some point, probably in the coming... I'm going to take a stab and say in the next month. I don't know what big event. The problem is that this trailer is what a big event could have been tied to. I actually already have I think there's another thing that I've got, maybe an article that actually talks about this, but yeah. We'll see. Hey, DM'd you my Wolfie? Hang on. Oh, he's very cute. I like him. You got a little cross on his head. I kind of want to, I might change what Diamond looks like. I like Diamond a lot, but, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. This article has been taken down, but, hang on. I might Google this. So this was the headline, if you didn't see it. So, hang on. Am I gonna get... no, hang on. If I could take the term pissed out, that would be good. That's really weird. Okay. Anyway, you can read the article here anyway. So we got the headline. I don't have the article, unfortunately. However, Investor Group is pissed that Activision Blizzard CEO is getting a $200 million payout. Oh my god. So, if you guys don't know, there is there's a CEO on Activision side, there's a CEO on Blizzard side. Now, I don't know if this is Bobby Kotick. I wish that I could have a look at the actual... I think it might have been Bobby, but I'm not sure. Or is it Tony... No, this is Tony Patetti. But anyway, this is crazy because there's actually a secondary part of this, which this person actually has gotten an article linked below. That is a stupid amount of money. That is a ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous amount of money. But down below here, you can see Activision Blizzard has reportedly laid off nearly 190 employees. CEO reportedly set to get pocket an enormous bonus payout. So, massive payout to the CEO. It must be Kotick. So, 190 employees will be probably being fired very soon. Or let go. Mostly, the thing is, understandably in some way for why they're being let go, because they're not necessarily needed anymore. So the area that they're being fired from is the esports department, which is related to like Overwatch. So that isn't going as well, and they're slowing it down, and that's trying to get rid of. But that's a fuck off a huge amount of money. That's ridiculous. That money should be going into development for other parts of the company to increase like the size of teams. Like some of them are really struggling. Blizzard and Activision have both got problems right now in terms of development costs and development issues, and yet this is occurring. This is really frustrating. If you ever want to hear my rants on AAA, it will boil down to this stuff a lot of the time, because it's disgusting. And that's what private companies can do, unfortunately. Like, they're not in a monopoly, so they can't really, like, be slapped down too hard. But they're in complete control. So, yeah. So infuriating. I know, Pixie. It's just, for me, it's just disappointing. Like, it's just, like, it's one of those things where you could be happy in your position at a workplace. Like, I've worked in a big business before, one that's a global, massive company, and you're a faceless cog, but where you work is like, it's fine, like it goes well and stuff like that. But then you hear these big things that are happening at the higher levels, and you're like, what the hell is this? And it's like, you're just this tiny cog, and you're trying to live your happy life, and you're getting paid well and all this, and they're giving you good benefits and things, and yet there's still parts where it's like people are getting completely screwed over because of the fact that these CEOs or people in much higher power are just doing whatever the fuck they want. And it's like, the only way you can do it is you just have to stand up and say no and just do a walkout. I mean, that's the thing. It's where you talk about unions, where unions being extremely important. And I know America has like weird hang-ups around that stuff, but it's like, it's rough. It's really fucking rough. I made you? Oh, thank you, Kiki. I have a feeling a few people are going to be making me, which is funny. Ironically, my character is called Daimono and my cat is called Flick. But I will probably make a Daimono cat when I actually... I'm going to try and do that. I definitely want to try and find one. But yeah. Anyway. We will probably be hearing more of these things over the year. These come up all the time. Probably a yearly occurrence now. But, yeah. Valheim passes 5 million sales. 5 million sales. 5 million sales. That is so much. This is an indie game that has gone absolutely crazy. You want to talk about a CEO taking a $200 million cut. I want to talk about an indie person, an indie small team making a, well, indie quotation mark. They've got some good people on their team. But like, holy shit, that game has blown out of the water. I never would have expected this one to be the killer app for the year. And yeah, kudos to them. It's been nice the past few years to hear some really big like lightning strikes in the industry, where it's just sort of like they will now probably be a organization you will know. You named him Dai in the Wolf Kami. Oh, Kami. Oh shoot, I should make a Kami. That's a good idea, Kick here. I thought your cat was called Evie. I should make an Evie Palico. I totally should. I should make those two for now. What I'm actually doing with a lot of the cats I'm capturing getting by the way in Rise is I'm naming it after you guys. So both my Palikios and Palikmoots. If you jump in and I'm grabbing a new one, you guys, I will grab your names and we'll set up. But I like the idea of you as being my my little helpers. Hey NC, how you doing? Report, the PS3, the Vita, and the PSP stores are now permanently closing in a few months. So, this is a funny one. I've got two things I wanted to talk about with this, which is, one is that this is inevitable. Unfortunately, this is one of those things where online stores can't exist forever. Servers have restrictions, unless they're maintained for an eternity and they're just at a loss. But, Comrade Wolf, thank you for the water. I appreciate it. What happened to the Wii is happening to yes, exactly, Armin. Online stores have to be closed. Now, unfortunately, this sucks because the PSP and the Vita in particular are two ones that are very difficult to get physical copies of. The PS3, not so bad, but there are a lot of digital-only games. So, this has brought up the concept that people are a bit upset about, which is game preservation. So, if the online stores are closing down, are you going to have them permanently? Like, if the servers are going... I don't know if I haven't read into this article yet, but if the servers are going down, that means you won't be able to download them, so meaning you will either need to make backups of those games or have them already installed on your console. If not that, then at least if you want something and you want to buy it, you have to buy it. Like, it's just how it is. Otherwise you will not get those games. They will be gone forever. And so game preservation societies have talked about, what do we do in this case? Like, what are we supposed to be doing for like consoles that are closing down and we need the online system? Like, I hate the idea of losing games. People have put so much work, some real gems out there, things that like you can't get physically. What do we do? Like, and there hasn't been a solution. And my solution, the thing I still say is, emulators are not evil. I don't believe that they should be considered something that you should be scared of. And I think that restoring ROMs and preserving them online, even if industries have massive issues because they're not making profits off it, it still needs to be done. And I think that if that can continue and we can find a way to that can be a legality around it, then good. Hey, Infinite Cows, how you going? I almost called you Infinite Tacos. How's my favorite business taco cat doing? I'm doing pretty good. We're just getting through a recap of news. I've missed about a month of news, so we're just getting back on it. 3DS still stands, I think. It does, yes. The 3DS will still be a little while longer. However, the physical machines will actually stopping repairs soon. So The 3DS stores will be closing down at some point, but yeah. The Caribbean stores for the 3DS have actually closed already. Really? Interesting. Ah, I didn't know that. That's the point. If the digital are filled with DLC, there's always emulation. Yeah, I honestly think that ROM preservationists are extremely important in the industry. Like, as much as people want to hate on pirates, there are certain things that pirates do that are very important and they need to exist. Pirates will always exist because of a reason. They don't just exist because people are selfish and wanting to steal. Like, obviously ones do, but there's some real passionate people out there that it's very good that they do what they do. Oh, I've probably just said something that would, like, now I've just burned myself. I can never be in the industry, but it's true. There's nothing wrong with emulation if the game will cost you a kidney. Yeah, some of them are a bit ridiculous. Nintendo is always crazy about their prices. Government Parliament passes a new youth protection law under which games' loot box mechanics could not be sold to minors. I really am happy about this. I am very frustrated that loot boxes are still as, like, out of control as they are. I think there's such a big problem around them. But this in particular is very good because of the fact that at least if certain countries start doing it, means that we've got justifications for other law locations to be able to say, hey, this is already a past law and it's affected here and it's causing these positives or negatives, so we can look at it. But yeah, Animal Crossing Sanrio cards. Gambling Pog? I mean, it essentially is gambling, Armin, to children. It's gambling to minors. The fact that loot boxes can be accessible to children is just still insane to me, but yeah. Sing me Wellerman's song to bring me sugar and tea and rum? Wait, isn't that the pirate song, NC? Loot boxes are BS, I want to know... the loot box one is BS, want to know why? Go for it, Kikir. If only minor gambling, and then what's the big problem? I like that, Infinite. No, it's major gambling for minors. But yeah. You can't buy a game if it's rated 18. Yeah, so it's just got some specifications, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Crash Team Tag Racing started with no loot boxes and then they added it by download. That's true. They actually did. So there's lots of little weird, tricky, like them trying to get around things, kick here. Again, as much as I talk about the internet being Wild West, games industry is still also Wild West. There's so many things they're just testing grounds. Like everything cycles so fast. It is impossible for laws to keep up with just how fast they can get around and do things. So just establishing new ways of doing things against current laws, you're going to find that happening all the time. Loot holes are everywhere. Loot boxes are basically skins or cosmetics jammed into a random box. Think gacha, things like Genshin. Yes, yes. If you don't know what they are, that's what they are. Hey, Pink Guy, how you doing, man? NC, see Armin's comment. That's pretty much what they are. All right, trailer. I actually will watch a little trailer now. We haven't gotten to do that for a little bit. Biomutant. This is a game I'm still looking forward to. Still on the wall whether or not it'll be any good. It might have some serious Eurojank, but yeah. Biomutant. I'm still looking forward to this game. Wait a minute. I've just noticed, chat, you can't seem to hear. Give me a sec. Just noticed that it's not picking up. No, it's still not picking up. There we go. Man, that Windows update broke a whole heap of stuff. But yeah, if you've not seen this game, you play as a raccoon-like creature that gets mutations, and you can change what your body parts look like, and you get different powers. Surprisingly, there's weird mechs in it. Sort of a strange post-apocalyptic world with creatures and animals. You've got lots of powers. It's very, very, very colorful. It's very strange. It's just a very strange game. Originally, it was mostly the mutation stuff, and it was just an action game when I first saw it, but now it's got a bit of a shooter component and everything as well. But yeah, it's going to be coming May 25th, 2021. It's really crazy looking. I'm kind of excited for it, so But yeah, you do get classes, and I don't really know how that looks, but yeah. I'm easily wooed by pretty colors. Yeah, in an age where, like, we've gone from the age of browns and grays, now we're actually getting some color, so... some of it's a bit much, some of it's not. Loot boxes won't be a thing if people just say no and refuse them. People won't ever do that, unfortunately, Kikia. Gambling is too strong. Gachas really, sure enough, just people they can't say no. What do we got here? Oh, right, this one's a fun one. It's like if Schrodinger's. I don't care if it's spelt that way, but cat for skins. You never know what's in it, and you'll find out once you already wasted the money. Pretty much, that's the thing. I think one of the things is, I think that I like still, which is in gacha rates, is that they actually will start telling you the actual percentages, and I think that they should have to tell you the percentages, always. However, it's still going to be one of those things that the percentages are pretty fucked. So it ends up being on you and whether or not your rationale has the ability to determine whether or not you are going to get something of worth within a certain amount of money. Hey Sword, how you doing? Monster Hunter Rise, I know Sword, I know. We'll be jumping into it after I finish the news, which we're probably like a little under halfway. The graphics look pretty, very colorful too. Yeah. I'm doing great after hearing Monster Hunter. Yeah. Jackbox 8. Another Jackbox. It's just another Jackbox, guys. I'm not going to jump into this, but we got an announcement. The yearly installment is going to continually have yearly installments, so, you know. Risk of Rain is getting update. So this is the anniversary update. I would love to play this right now. This is actually out right now. There is a new character. The Bandit has actually been brought into the game. And yeah, I want to play this, but I've got to play Monster Hunter. I'm sorry, guys. I probably will play this on stream once I get through Rise, because the Bandit is pretty fucking cool class to return. So yeah, another one already. Jackbox Party Pack 8, another Jackbox Party Pack. It is pretty much, yeah. It's a yearly install. There's a joke in it now, which is like, yes, we're releasing another one at the same time we always release one, so yeah. My only issue is Jackbox is just so fucking expensive. I really just wish they weren't as expensive as they are. I really love them, but holy heck. They're in a way they're kind of small. I don't know. For the amount of effort, it's hard to say, but you know. It's $20, right? Not when it first comes out. It actually it's a lot more expensive, sort of. The last Jackbox stream was fun. It was really good. Really, really good. No, I don't think the update would be out yet on Switch, Armin, but it'll be coming soon. I can't imagine it'd be too far away. Kind of spending. Have you been? It's been a hot minute. I've actually been sick. I've been actually hospital level sick, Sword. So I'm getting there. I'm feeling better, but we're taking it easy over the next few weeks. As I heal up, but yeah, it's nice that they're becoming more Twitch inclusive with the Jackboxes. Yeah, I think that having those extra settings for us is quite nice. It is still a funny category to do though on Twitch with certain people that come by. We had a really good time last time. We had an absolute blast with it. I think it's still one of my favorite ways to celebrate with you guys. Whenever we have a stream celebration, I think my excuse to be able to play Jackbox with you all, very fun. Oh, excuse me. Oh, thank you for the water, NC. Enough breaking out about Aaron. Don't worry, you will see. Go look it up, Armin. There's a couple of, like, Wooly, I think his name on YouTube is a fantastic Risk of Rain YouTuber, and he has heaps of information, so you want to look at it. Where's where's Pet the Cat point redeem? I don't know. I actually have turned off a few point redeems just for the time being, and I'll probably turn them on soon. Take it easy on yourself, man. Oh, thank you, Sword. Don't worry, I'm trying to look after myself as best I can, so I wouldn't be streaming if I didn't feel up to it. Alright. Call of Duty. There's another Call of Duty. It never ends. But this one is going to be an alternate history where in the 1950s where World War II never happened. I have no idea. I don't know how many games have gone through this style of plot. 1950s where World War II didn't happen, rather than just the Nazis winning or something. It's called Vanguard. This is a leaked thing. I don't know if I watched a leaked footage thing, but if you're a Call of Duty fan, maybe this would be fun for you. Maybe it looks like it's going to be retro Call of Duty again. But yeah, interesting. You get the hand cat gift to pet the cat. I thought about doing that, Armin. I actually, with my new avatar, it will be a little weird to have stuff like that. But I did think about having a pet emote in chat, but I've decided against it. Guilty Gear Strive has been delayed. Now, I'm a little saddened by this because I was excited to play Guilty Gear. That's a pretty big jump. April 9th to June 11th. That's like 2 months. They're adding on 2 months of development. Now, I'm okay with that because I think Strive still needs to have like a whole heap of things fixed about it. I think the game plays fantastically, but there is a lot of weird quality of life stuff that kind of suck. And the things that have changed in the systems that I think are just painful. But fuck. Oh well. I am really, really excited to play Guilty Gear when it does come out. And June 11th is a fine time for it to come out. Hopefully there's not too many other busy things, but yeah. Command & Conquer did the same thing where World War II didn't happen. Oh really? Till the 50s instead of 60s. Oh, and they did it with Soviets. Right, no, you're right. Yeah. I feel like I don't hear that too often though. Alright, here's a weird one. Devotion. If you guys know Devotion just by me saying the title of the game, Red Candle Games are now putting Devotion up on their own store. They're selling it directly to you. A game that has so much controversy around it because of Chinese influence and being against certain things. And kind of got out of control, and unfortunately it's one of those Taiwan versus Taiwan versus China things. Yeah, got hit pretty hard through all that social climate. Now it looks like they're just directly selling it to people, which is good because the game is actually good. Devotion is a good horror game. And yeah. Hopefully they do well. Hopefully I really would hate to see a company that has gone through so much shit for just I think it's a single image embedded somewhere in a texture that has caused all this controversy for them. And really, I hope they can continue to do well. But yeah. Don't get mad, but I may have burned down a brothel and 2 villages in D&D. Oh my god, Armin. I like that your DM has allowed you to do this, though. Genshin Impact hits oh my god, look at this number, chat. 874 million spent since launch. It is already the world's 3rd highest earning mobile game. Genshin Impact is a very good game. Genshin Impact is a fantastically crazy, amazing free-to-play game. I cannot get over that this game is free. And it's very easy to play free-to-play. However, that is a ridiculous amount of money. So, we were talking about gachas and all that sort of stuff earlier. Yeah, this is what gachas can do. This is gacha money, right there. There's a reason why, the companies in Japan, like for making like Shadowverse and things like that, are making so much, like, and making their own stuff. Like Granblue does crazy numbers, but yeah, congrats to them. They did a fantastic job, and I think they've earned it. Still a bit weird, it being a lot of money going into China, but like, holy shit. This, if anything, Genshin Impact should be how gachas should go forward, in a sense of making a fantastic game first and then having a gacha system on top of it with additional content being added. I still want to play it. By the way, most Monster Hunter World players didn't go over to play Monster Hunter GU or some of the older ones. They went over to play Genshin Impact. most Monster Hunter World streamers became Genshin Impact streamers. It is very strange to see that. I don't think the game, to me, has enough content for me to stream it continuously. I think it would be just very repetitive, you watching me, and I don't think I like the multiplayer too much for that. But that's still crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Hey Sky, how you going? How are you enjoying Rise? Have you gotten Rise working now? Microsoft fixes the Xbox controller connection issues in the March update. So this is kind of an off story. I don't know how many of you guys have an Xbox or Xbox One or Xbox One X, or Sexbox. But yeah, at least Microsoft is dealing with the controller issues. There seems to be still a whole heap of stuff with issues with the Elite and the new controllers. So, oh my gosh, these companies need to be on top of this stuff, because this opens up lawsuits. We've already seen it with Nintendo and Sony now as well. So, they're gonna have to tread carefully with some of these controller issues. And I know it's hard because of manufacturing and COVID and all that sort of stuff right now, but yeah, pretty bad, because controllers are very expensive things. So, yeah, if you've got an Xbox controller, you will probably be seeing a fix sometime soon. Okie dokie. I don't usually jump into these, but because of the fact that I love Monster Hunter Rise and I will be playing it, just to let you know, there are review threads up and review scores up, and they have been for a little while. If you want to know if you need to get Monster Hunter Rise, you can look at this. These ratings are very, 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 very high. This is a 9 out of 10 game in a lot of classifications. I think it's probably an 8 out of 10 on average. But 90% recommendation. That's a 9 out of 10 for a Monster Hunter game on the Switch. That's fucking crazy. That's really cool. This game is going to be pretty big. Really big. Sounded like you said the sex box. I did say the sex box. Strawberries, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. You're a 10 out of 10 die. Thank you, Armin. Also, I've noticed you change your color. Water time? Water time for Rise. I get some water just to refresh myself for Rise hype. Now, we spoke about Call of Duty before. Now it's time to talk about Battlefield 6. EA delays the new Need for Speed, which I didn't actually realize they were still making them, shifts Criterion to work on the support for Battlefield 6. So, I'm excited for Battlefield 6. The leaks on this game are crazy, and I hope this game lives up to the expectations that I'm starting to build for it. Battlefield 5 and Battlefield were not great. I think that would love to play a good Battlefield again. Battlefield 3 was so good. Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2 are so good. You'll probably see me and CJ ranting about these games quite often because they were just so fun. If you hadn't played them during their peak, they were so good. But what they say with the development of 6 is they want to put a lot of focus on this game. They want Battlefield 6 to do well and do money, and they are putting another team. Criterion is a very good team working on it, and they want it to be in reverence of Battlefield 3 and 4. They want to go back to the feeling of those games and the modern shooter and having it pretty much set in our time and stuff like that. I'm very excited. I hope they just have lots of fun gadgets. It feels really good. They return to how big the battlefields are. That's all I really want. So, very exciting. So, hopefully we'll hear news in sometime soon. Thank you for the water, NC. Ongoing news with Riot. So, Riot's thing's still going. Riot Games board finds no wrongdoings by the CEO Nicolo Laurent and denies misconduct allegations in new court findings. Oh my gosh. So, I'm not going to too much into this because of the fact that this is, unfortunately, a business he said, she said. A lot of just, there's things everywhere. There's allegations all over the place in different departments of Riot. Riot seems like a company that seems to have a lot of messy inner workings related to this stuff. And it looks like, with at least in which court finding, I assume this must be in American courts, but yeah. So it seems like he hasn't been charged there. Like, it's I think this won't end. I'm fairly sure this will go like on for another couple years, but people are still pretty like agitated within the company. So it's one of those things that if they're not getting any legal repercussions, they might step out. They might just you might see a mass exodus out of Riot, especially when they're expanding for their teams because they're bringing out so many new games. But hard to say. So we're definitely going to have this news return again at some point. But yeah, legal stuff, legal sexy stuff. Not sexy because it's legal, but legal because it's sexy. Allegations go to Twitter. Yeah, this is definitely something that would be I feel like don't talk about, like don't get involved in discussion unless you actually are educated on it or somewhat involved, because I think this is going to have a lot of stuff thrown around it. These are always very messy situations. But yeah. Riot. PS5 is the fastest selling console in the US history for dollar sales. Shit, yeah, it is. I cannot get over just how excited I was for the PS5 and how many people were and all the stock and everything like that. But yeah, the PS5 is going to be a big console and it's worthwhile so far. Playing it is just, it's very much like very, very, very powerful, and it's just a console that is just nice to use. Like it's probably the first one where it just feels like you're using a PC in terms of just how snappy it is, how good it is used. I still have some issues with some of the UI stuff, the power that it brings to the games that they have, but the biggest thing is still this number is always just very indicative of the current climate of video games in terms of games just keep selling more and more and more and more and more and more. Like, gaming is taking over. It is the main form of entertainment for people, and it is going to continue to make money because of that. So just expect the inflation. What should I name my Kahoot? I named mine Poogie because he's the Poogie of this game, but you can name him whatever you want, Kick here. Think of like a magical owl, Mr. Owl, Tootsie Pop? I don't know. There's so many names you could go with. Especially like it shows you need to be really creative with names when it turns out you've got to name a million billion Palicos and Palamutes. Life is Strange True Colors announced. Now, I'm not a Life is Strange person, but Square Enix has put out a couple of trailers for a few games, and people were pretty excited about this. I have not played a single Life is Strange game. Some of you might be a fan, so we might check out this trailer. But yeah.
Definitely hiding something.
Alex, be careful.
That was weird. I named mine Cake, Coffee is my Palico, and my doggo Cinnamon. That's very cute.
My brother Gabe in years.
Alex! It's just so good to see you again.
It's a pretty quiet trailer.
Welcome to Haven.
This place is pretty sweet.
I'm glad you two met. Is this dude my best friend?
And this dude hands.
This is I imagine where Pixie grew up, by the way, guys.
Alex, right?
This is like Pixie's life,
I didn't realize.
right?
We all knew you were coming.
For the first time in years,
Well,
Hagrid?
what do you think?
You wizard eye.
I really let myself believe.
Welcome home.
I don't know what to believe now, except Gabe is dead.
He's a very emotional
This
games.
was for you, Gabe.
Whoa. Oh, she's a singer. I for a second there, I thought she was a voice actor or something. Like, why has she got a big
Talk
mic?
about my brother.
Oh, they're doing the little
About the
lanterns.
life he had here with all of you. I lost the chance to have that.
What happened to Gabe was a senseless, tragic accident.
It wasn't an accident.
Son, now is not the time.
I feel like if you're into these kind of like dramas, like
No.
you'll enjoy these types of games. These are very not much my thing, but like visually it's a nice looking game. I feel like it's tonally it's on point. It understands its audience,
Haven's a community.
gives them what they want.
We help each other.
But hang on, isn't Life is Strange, don't they have like supernatural things in them always?
Be careful.
Or was it just the first one?
There's something you should know about me.
Oh, okay, there we go. Answered my
I
question.
know what other people are feeling. I can see these.
It's like it would be a
auras
Netflix
around
series.
them.
I mean, it pretty much is. That's just kind of how they are.
If if they're angry or sad. Or
Again, it's
afraid.
one of
I
those
feel
things.
it too.
These games
When
know
I
exactly what they
focus,
are and
I
who
can't
they're
even
for.
understand why they're feeling.
You want to
it.
talk hipster? This is
And
like
if somebody's
the
feeling
epitome
something
of what
big,
like the
it
hipster
infects me,
ideal I
and
think
lose
is.
control. I've never told anyone.
Netflix series The Game.
Now I can find out what's really going on.
And I don't mean hipster in a derogatory way. It's just it's like if you look at all the character designs, you look at how they like do a lot of the voice acting and stuff. I've just noticed that the windows actually the TV. Someone who broke the TV? Which of you broke the TV? Bleeding out the bottom. All right. That's Life is Strange. So I feel like sure that one will do really well. That looks like it's like got a lot of money behind it and will make a lot of money. Puts Poe away. Blame Evie. I'd never blame Evie. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, no, it's when it goes full screen it does something. That's weird. Something to do with the full screen. Bizarre. I'll have to figure out what's causing that. Anyway, Microsoft wants to buy Discord for over $10 billion. $10 billion. $10 billion. We talk about a lot of big numbers in the news, don't we? Did you guys not know this? Oh wow. Okay, so I knew outside of games because people were just talking as a business move. But yes, this is going to be massive. If this is true, this is very crazy, and I'm not too thrilled about it. Microsoft has a little bit of notoriety for having some problems with bringing certain companies in and destroying their software. Skype, by the way, originally wasn't a Microsoft thing. So, like, there's this weird duality around this where this could be really good because there'll be a lot of money going into Discord, and Discord is already, like, the best voice software in my opinion. However, it is also a problematic one just in the sense that if it does happen, you might see complete reworkings and how they are able to do certain functionality and certain, I don't know, games related stuff. Like there's a lot of red tape might start to appear. This could be a very, like, this could be really bad for Discord. So I'm not too thrilled about this, but it might be one of those situations where they might be able to say no and prevent them, but yeah. I saw that on Twitter for a brief second, and before it was exploded with some other news. I hope they're pretty hands-off like they are with Minecraft. It is hard to say, Pink Eye. So the thing is, Pink Eye, Minecraft is within their games division, which is a almost separate entity. Games Microsoft they're a lot better. They're a lot more healthier of an organization. They didn't used to be, they are now. Microsoft as a business, however, is a lot more ruthless and a lot more like heavy-handed with certain things. So I would expect them to be heavy-handed with this. It's not going to be a part of the games division. It will be a part of Microsoft as a business. Did Microsoft spend billions on Skype and overpaid it compared to everyone else that it flopped? Kinda kick here. But the difference is between Skype was still, I think, on its way up. It just got handicapped and like kneecapped really fucking hard at a certain point there. I don't know if people left the development teams or what it was, but the ideology with how Skype was being made changed very heavily once it went into Microsoft. But don't fuck up our Discord. I can't imagine it would change very heavily very fast, but you might see that progression stops. It might be one of those things that red tape starts holding it back, or certain features need to be removed. So Skype made them money for lying to investors. Yeah. Skype worked really well for them. That's the thing. It's not whether or not like it works for us. It's whether or not it makes money for them. And Discord would make money for them. The fact that it has any game references as well probably would be stripped out as well. Skype isn't actually doing well. Multiple people bought Skype and Microsoft just overpaid for it. Yeah, Skype was a weird situation, but it is very parallel to this. I don't think we'll watch this because this is pretty long. It's 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't think I'll watch this. But Final Fantasy VII Intergrade actually has an extended trailer with enhanced features in the video. So if you have a PS5 and you want to play Remake Intergrade and you're excited for it, check out this video. It pretty much, I'm not too impressed by it. I like 7 Remake, but I think some of these features here that are boasted, it's not that impressive relative to some of the other stuff that I've seen what the PS5 can do. But yeah, it should leave people a little bit excited, at least for Remake 2, to see whatever they're heading towards. So, yeah. It was happening before Microsoft bought. Skype killed itself. Okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, I would imagine that, so. Final Fantasy 11 reboot development officially cancelled. So, not surprised here that this kind of happened. Nexon has officially cancelled the development on the MMORPG. So Nexon is going through a bit of a weird time at the moment, but cancelling a 11 reboot that was only for the phone, not too surprised. I don't know how well it would have done. 11's still going, which is still bonkers to me. Still getting new content. But yeah, I would imagine that we might see someday some sort of remaster to 11 just because of just how much content's in it. But probably not anytime soon now that Nexon stepped away from it. I imagine they probably would have put a lot of money into development for it, but yeah. Oh, this was announced in 2015. Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago. Holy shit. That's 6 years ago. That's an insane amount of time. Wow. Game not to meet quality of standards expected by fans. Yeah. Still going? It's still ongoing. They recently only just got new content, apparently. There was a bit of a drought, but now they've actually made a few things, I believe. PlayStation Store to discontinue movie and TV purchases and rentals. This isn't a crazy news, but it's still one of those things where it's like, to me, it's still very weird that the PlayStation and Xbox went down this route, trying to sell TV and movies and things. But just especially because now the demand from things like Netflix and all that sort of are just so high that it's a bit hard for them to compete. So this is a smart option. I think this is smart. There's really not any need, in my opinion, for another service. Separating it out, fragmenting services as much as that, not great. So it just saves them a better effort. So I think it's a smart move by PlayStation. I don't think anyone's going to miss this. But fun fact, Sparta, send a response to a war threat with just the word if. Wait, what? Sparta send a response to a war threat with just the word if. As in the warriors? The Spartan warriors? What people miss understanding with some of these companies that were already struggling before it. The funny thing, Microsoft brought Facebook for a few $1,000s pocket money and then went off and paid right over and paid Skype. Big oof. Really. Yeah, big business is just, they don't necessarily behave in the way that you would be the logical conclusion. They will be doing it for very targeted reasons at certain times. And sometimes they can just absolutely flop because of it. Microsoft rebrands the Xbox Live to Xbox Network. I don't know why they've done this. I actually like Xbox Live as a title brand, but Xbox Network, that's fine too. You can listen to this article on this website. That's pretty cool. The Verge. But yeah. It's Xbox Network with a lowercase n. Why is it a lowercase n? That's weird. Why not a capital? Anyway, that's happening. It's just a rebranding. So might need to get used to it. Lowercase n. Why is it lowercase n? That's so strange. Very weird. Anyway, just a thing that's happening. The leader of Sparta. I can't remember his name. I have no idea. I'm terrible at history. Amen. Monster Hunter Rise is coming to PC in 2022. I had people ask me about this recently. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I had people ask me about when the PC version was coming out, because a lot of people seem to have missed this fact. So yes, it is coming to that's Imran Khan. Doesn't he work for another website? Okay. Maybe he's moved to this website, I'm not sure. Anyway, or they just have the same name. PC in 2022. So it is going to be a while. People are saying that they're going to wait for the PC version. Please be aware that it is coming out next year. You will be waiting a long time if you are waiting for the PC version, if you don't want to pick up the Switch one, which you can do. It's totally fine. You'll get a lot more content a lot faster getting it on PC. But you won't be able to play with Switch people. Is probably one of the biggest things, and it won't happen for a long time. So yeah, just be aware. For those who are waiting. We'll not have to wait too long for the new game. Yeah, Rise is here. This was this before Rise came out. This must have been before Rise came out. But yeah, definitely. It's from February 26th. Yeah, my articles are a bit all over the place because I was just grabbing things. But yeah. Monster Hunter is really good. You should play it. Open world third person Dungeons and Dragons RPG is in development. I thought we already knew of one, but this is a different one, supposedly. So, Hidden Path Entertainment, a studio that worked with Valve to develop the Counter-Strike Global Offensive, is working on a AAA third-person, open-world fantasy RPG taking place inside of the Dungeons & Dragons universe. That's pretty crazy. That's really ambitious. This is a very ambitious title. Anyone doing this is going to be doing a very ambitious thing. There is very few games that can live up to open world RPGs that have a D&D core. Like that's pretty crazy. So, yeah. So we might have to keep an eye out for that. I don't really know Hidden Path Entertainment very well. I don't if they co-developed Counter-Strike Global Offensive, that's not really like the type of game that I would say is very again, I keep bringing this up and I don't know why it keeps happening. Open world is very hot right now. It's been hot for the past like 5 years. However, very few companies can pull this off. This here is very, 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 very crazy to do. However, none of their games have anything to do with that. Like these, whoopsies, all these titles that they've brought out, Raccoon Lagoon, I don't even know what some of these are. Witchblood, Chroma, Defense Grid, Windborn, Age of Empires HD Collection, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Like, these aren't titles that I would necessarily say work with this. But if they're getting money from the Dungeons & Dragons owners, then maybe they might be able to pull something off, but there will be a lot of contracting happening, I reckon, in this game. And yeah, it's gonna be a long-term project. I imagine we probably not hear anything about this for a very long time. Just to put in contrast, by the way, a company that actually makes a RPG that uses D&D as its core, Baldur's Gate 3, made by I was going to say Lionhead Studios. I've forgotten the name of them. The Divinity Original Sin people who have very much know that type of genre, still failed to perform when it came to Baldur's Gate on its base release for 3. So it is a high wall to climb, and I think we really will not hear about this for a very long time, even if it goes ahead. So just weird little bit of news, and it's always cool just to hear like that. Just something might be in the works that's something absolutely bonkers. Oh, this is a weird piece of news to finish with. Well, I'm going to finish with one piece of news today because we're at the end of the news today, so that means Monster Hunter in a moment. But Gotham Knights will now launch worldwide in 2022. So Gotham Knights, if you're a fan of the Gotham series, it will be delayed until next year. So, yeah. I can't wait to kill innocent citizens and watch them funny ragdoll. Even if that depends if they do ragdoll, they might just fade away, Arwen. But yeah, that was a bit weird piece of news to end on. But anyway, that is probably the full recap for this month that I missed. There's probably a whole heap of news articles that are pretty cool and interesting that I would have missed. If you guys have any news pieces that I didn't cover today, feel free to drop them here. I'm actually curious if there's anything that I did miss to talk about. I did read everything that came out, but there's a lot of news that happens in a month. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot to keep in your brain. But these are probably the big ones that people voted on over on or upvoted in on Reddit. So I think they're a good place to stand to figure out what we should check out. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything, we'll probably finish the news there, and I'll be back tomorrow with the current news. So this last 7 days, and hopefully some cool shit, because the news will definitely slow down. By the way, like, we're now at the downward slope because games are now being released, and everything's building up to the new announcement cycles of like say E3, Summer of Games, and all that sort of stuff, Gamescom. So just be we'll just take it cruisy, I think. But I think we covered some pretty good stories today, and we didn't take an eternity. It's 1:30, which isn't too bad. So yeah, all games are better with funny ragdolls. I kind of agree, Armin, but it's taxing. I mean, we're in the modern thing. Sad witch crying. Thank you. I like that image. But yeah. All right. Let's switch on over to chill chat for a sec, and then we will do some Monster Hunter. So it's going to be Rise all day. I played a little bit last night, but I'll go through a bit with some stuff I learned and extra things. But yeah, let's swap it over. You're on the first quest. Nice. I'm gonna play on this. I'm on the second quest. I still got to play. Well, if we've got enough people here, Strawberries, I could open up my room and I could delay my progress and we could do some lobby stuff. But yeah, I want to try and get through as much of the story on stream because I think it's pretty cool. But yeah. Look, I'm gonna go to sleep. Enjoy Monhunt. No problem, Alex. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed stream. All right, I'm actually quickly BRB as we set up the Switch. Be back in 1 second.